When you arrived, like I say, you inherited the school with significant challenges. In the early weeks and months, what did you prioritize in order to establish almost like the trust and credibility with staff? And how did you decide what not to rush?
Yeah, so just to give a bit of context, our challenging circumstances was special measures, inadequate, multiple monitoring visits, and in an unstable leadership team that had all gone, and we were starting from scratch again. I was really lucky that I finished my previous school 2 weeks before the end of the summer term for my current school, which meant that I had a couple of weeks to get in and really get a feel for where everything was. It's all well and good reading the Ofsted reports and the monitoring visit reports, but you don't really get a feel for it until you're sort of on the ground. So that really, really helped me. And then obviously I had the summer where I could go in and out and look at what was there and what wasn't there. So that really helped me to get a picture. But I think the main thing that I found most useful was arranging one-to-ones with staff as soon as I could. Obviously, waited till September, but to really be able to understand then where they saw the school, because it's all well and good where the trust saw the school and where Ofsted saw the school, but understanding where those people, those boots on the ground saw it was a real eye opener, and being able to pick out the themes. And I think the main theme in my school was that everybody really loved the school and loved the community and wanted to do their best. And they might not have been capable of doing their best, but they definitely wanted to do their best. And that really helped. And I think it also made the staff feel that they were listened to. So then that trust started to creep in. And listening to the little things that really mattered to them. And if there was anything that I could make a quick change on to help them, that obviously built my credibility up as well, I think.
In a school that needs improvement, there's often a pressure to act really, really quickly. How did you navigate that tension between making visible changes and then also building the systems that would last beyond your first year?
Standing my ground, like I said, we had a vision, we had a strategy, we had a plan, and we knew that it was going to go awry. But we knew the importance of making quick wins, and having that balance of a visible change alongside a long-term thing. And for us, the biggest thing was behaviour. Behaviour was awful. When I went to look round the school to see whether or not I wanted to apply, I was walloped with a hula hoop by an errant child. And it was a real no holds barred, eye-opening tour. And being able to make that change with behaviour, which would underpin every other change, gave it validity. It showed some quick wins because when staff kept from the trust or people came and walked around, the behaviour was so much more visibly improved. It was something that made a massive difference to staff. That was one of their biggest concerns was that the behavior they were unable to teach because of behavior, other children were unable to learn because of behavior. So identifying that as something that had a long-term gain and quick wins was a massive help. But you're right, the pressure on, well, you've been there a term, what difference have you made, is immense. And I'm lucky, I think, because the trust in particular understand that this is a long-term journey and it's a 3-year journey. And one of the benefits of being in a trust is that central team and the skill set that they bring. And we're really lucky that we have Ofsted inspectors within our central team, and they understand both sides of the game. And they were really helpful in saying, okay, well, this is a quick win for Ofsted, and this is a quick win for the school, and this is how they can feed into your long-term plan. So having those people around that understand that timescale, I think is really, really important. But also being able to justify that to Ofsted. As I said previously, we were expecting them to come in October half term for another monitoring visit, and they didn't. They came in January and they did a full inspection. 50% of my staff had been there 3 weeks when they came. We came out of special measures and were given 2 areas of good. One of those being behaviour and attitudes, and our attendance is so low, but because we could show all of the systems that we were putting into place, that made a massive difference to them. I think the one annoying thing, which may be different with the new framework, was that so many things are over time. And if you've been there a term, how can you possibly show things over time, which immediately restricts what grading you're going to get? So that was frustrating. But I think it's really important to stand your ground and have the evidence to show that this is why I'm doing it. And if you've got a why behind the what, I think you're golden.
The first year of headship is often described as isolating. How did your sense of yourself as a leader change over the course of the year? You know, particularly when decisions were unpopular, uncertain, or emotionally difficult, like those we've discussed already in the first two questions.
Yeah, I think it has got the potential to be isolating, but it's what you make of it. I came into the job thinking everybody will hate me, and I'm okay with that because at the end of the day, it's a job and we're here to do the best for the children. But that hasn't been the case. And I think, those decisions, like I said about the redundancies and making staff understand the whys and the wherefores is really, really important because you aren't then isolated and people do actually care about you as a person. And taking time to make those bonds with staff and, ask about their kids and their dog and their other half is really, really important. And even if they aren't one of the people that you want to go to the pub with, they are still there giving their time, giving their commitment. And I think if you put enough in, then you'll get enough out and it won't be so isolating.